Make some noise for the XwE Extreme Wrestling Entertainment. Express that entertainment part. Podcast, and I am the Macho Huck, and there is my very handsome colleague. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Morgue Man, Rich Diaz, but you can just call me Rich. And here today, we are here with episode number 2 to talk about the Survivor Series and the fallout that's going to be happening in just a little while on Raw from that, and reviewing that and the road to the Survivor Series. And we'll talk a little bit about AEW and how they kind of counter programmed silently against WWE for a lot of people who may not have noticed.
Indeed so. And speaking of fallouts, uh, eh, between that definition and the irony of fallout and how my entire week since Thanksgiving's been going, I don't even have to explain. Let me just.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's give a quick backstory with this. So, uh, before that slip and fall happened, the week prior, Madison Square Garden, Brock Lesnar uh, was in the ring beating people up and whatever, and then Roman Reigns came down, did the Superman punch, and I looked at it. I said, "Why did Brock just sell that like he was a cruiserweight?" So then me and Huck are messaging last week during Raw, and he just randomly says, before this fall, by the way, he goes, "Hey, did you notice what Brock sold Roman's Superman punch like he was HBK, taking those bumps for Hogan at SummerSlam?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, I was going to mention that. Not 10 minutes later, that fall happens. And I said, look, you cursed him. And he did an HBK bump for that fall too.
Yeah. The irony of Brock Lesnar right now going through this entire return is ruined almost 25 years of aura for the great Brock Lesnar. Of course, I don't care how many times he splits his pants, shits his pants, flips backwards, flips forwards, cuts a fucking entire cartwheel. If I ever see him coming and he looks angry at me, I'm going the opposite way quickly. But still, that's how my week has been going, just upside down. But damn, Brock, the thing about it is that he looked like he was a good sport about it. He got up, laughed about it, put his cowboy hat on Braun Breaker, who was laughing hysterically about it. Paul Heyman was standing there looking like, do I laugh about this? What do I do in this situation? I don't want to be the first one he fucking hits.
Well, that's why Brock can laugh at himself, because he knows that pretty much he could take anybody there who wants to try to punk him for real. So,
yes, yeah.
But that was just a whole funny situation how that happened. But let's not focus too much on Brock Lesnar's botches, because knowing the stuff we're going to be speaking of now, we'll have plenty of that to cover in just a little while. Survivor Series was a very lame stadium show. Probably the worst Survivor Series in years, in my opinion. I don't know about you.
I mean, for the main event to be so star-studded, it was. I mean, I guess it was all right. I mean, but I think the crowd did a lot of damage there. As far there's another popular creator on TikTok that I watch and also YouTube, Sante. But he was there live and saying that the crowd was just not into it. And that's weird for a San Diego crowd, I think. So maybe it just wasn't as exciting as I thought. The best match was probably Cena and Dom. And it seemed like it was a little overbooked at times, like too much was going on, but it fit very well. And I love the fact that that he put over the women so well, honestly, in this match. That was entertaining.
Right. So, all right, let's go in order of the matches here. So, the first match was the ladies' war games match. Um, I'm not going to go entrance for entrance. I don't know if you want to do that, but we could just talk about the highlights, which was pretty much nothing that I didn't see last year. EO Sky putting on a trash can and diving off the top of the War Games cage on top of her, her opposing team. Um, they gave Lash Legend the star spot where they let her come out last, but nobody knows who she is, so the crowd was just dead.
Yeah, that sucked for Lash because honestly, I mean, Lash, I like Lash, but again, they threw her in the main roster, and that's like throwing a fish in the ocean. Like it can be a beautiful fish, but it's in a big ocean right now.
But it could have also been. I thought honestly the spot that she was going to come in because they also gave the female uh, babyface team the advantage in war games, which already kills the psychology of the match. So I thought when it was 2-on-1 on against Asuka at one point, I thought that's when she was going to come in the match, dominate for a while. Then they would have sent whoever. She still would have been dominant, and then whatever. But for it to be half an hour worth of entrances and less than 10 minutes of actual in-ring action, that to me is a problem.
Yeah, I guess the highlight of that entire match was Io Sky doing the thing. Uh, she did the thing that we all expected her to do, and I think I called this. Uh, I think it was kind of like obvious that the women were gonna the baby faces of that match were gonna win. Rhea looked like Rhea. I didn't know she was going to be in the new Terrifier whenever it's coming. So I mean, she looked spooky. She looked cool as always. All the guys definitely lusted over her. Naya was looking like a lot was going on.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just needed Tony Storm in this one match to do one spot, but I'll try to leave that to your imagination.
I hope we caught that on film that I just spilt that on me. Anyway, AJ Lee, I'm glad she didn't go too close to Nia Jax. We didn't need her getting injured. Also, she stayed away from most of the Asian women in the match that are very fond of either getting you pregnant or injuring you. So, good for AJ Lee. I think she protected herself in that ring. Charlotte, I think, was probably the show stealer or MVP in the match. Besides EO doing the thing at the top of the cage, which she added a little twist to it this year. So good stuff,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think they're setting up Charlotte to be the first challenger to Jade Cargill, so she had to look good here.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna, even though they're still billing them as a tag team. I don't think you're gonna be seeing Alexa and Charlotte as a full-on tag team too much longer. But who knows? I also don't think it'll be Charlotte who eventually, if they even do it, or do it in the near future, I don't think it'll be Charlotte that turns on Alexa. I think they'll finally give Alexa that push of, she's been babyface long enough.
Yeah, and we've already seen, and you got a hole in your lip or in your can. I don't know.
I think I do. This is twice now. I'm going to keep this on film so we can all see what a baby I am. Jeez.
So I don't know. I do know, and I agree with you that it should be Alexa that turns on Charlotte because we've seen enough of heel Charlotte, and you know what? The crowd actually buys into babyface Charlotte. So let her keep that little momentum because they're going to need her, like I said, to be a challenger for Jade Cargill, and they need to call up more girls from NXT because SmackDown needs it desperately. So
Yeah, I agree on that one. Definitely. I'm glad. I've never disliked Charlotte. Is there times that I'm like, okay, maybe we should give this person the main event instead of Charlotte. But look, I don't care what you say out there. Charlotte is the flag bearer when it comes to women's wrestling right now. You
Oh yeah,
want to make somebody look good, you put them in what they do with
you
Tiffany Stratton.
or
Put her in the ring with Charlotte Flair.
they've done that with everybody. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever you want to call her,
Exactly.
Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley. Everybody that they've wanted to get over as like an actual credible star has to have the match of their lives with Charlotte. So there you go.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are marks for Sasha or Mercedes Moné, and just because you got 13 belts or whatever, that doesn't make you the GOAT. And I meant to bring that up about the tweet she made about the winners of the War Games match. Shots fired. She said none of these women have the nostalgia or whatever, basic star power that I do. And I'm like, yeah. I think you should set this one out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's her just stirring up trouble in kayfabe. But all right, so congratulations to the female girls team that won Survivor Series. Which honestly, when you really think about it, given the lack of action and real, true like feuds in going into this, besides Becky and AJ Lee, this didn't need to be a War Games match. This just could have been a traditional 5-on-5. But we're in a world now where if the guys get a big match, the girls got to get it too. But
I'm not mad. I like watching War Games. I'm not mad that they got the match, but yeah, it could have been definitely a traditional 5-on-5. I wish they would do some more 5-on-5 traditional matches, at least on SmackDown. I mean, well, soon enough, I'm sure they will, because I'm thinking if they follow in the same footsteps as WrestleMania and SummerSlam, I was gonna. You remember what I did the other day when I did the whole token thing? I'm sorry. Anyway, if they follow in the same tradition, then we'll probably have 2 nights of Survivor Series within the next.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And I will add one last thing to that is that I was kind of impressed that Lash Legend took the poison mist and they actually kind of made her look a little strong because she fought through it and continued to match instead of like fading off into an oblivion. So kudos. I think they're trying to make her look, like this is a big deal, but we'll see.
Well, they gave her the main event. They gave her the star entrance because she got the very last entrance into the match. So
that's true.
Triple H sees something.
Yeah, I think they see a lot going on there. That could be something possible in the future. A Lash Legend and Jade Cargill match with 2 dominant black females in the ring is taking. And I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, I'm serious. It's taking major steps in this time and age. Why not?
Yeah.
So,
all right. So moving on to the next match of the night, which was the match of the night, which was John Cena defending the Intercontinental Championship against Dirty Dom Mysterio. And, like we said, it was overbooked, but it was overbooked on purpose because, Dom needed all the help he could get to beat the great John Cena, even if it is Cena on his way out. So I liked all the nonsense. I like all the, and, the fact that he sold Raquel's move like death when he took it, and allowing her to pick him up and slam him down and everything, and he sold Roxanne Perez's pop rocks, and then Liv Morgan in the end doing the face that he did at Elimination Chamber right before he kicked Cody in the crotch, and then she kicked him in the crotch. So it all worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I liked the little nod to his heel turn. Liv looked like she was blistered out of her mind. I'm pretty sure she hit her a nice doobie before or an edible or something before she had to, do this. But kudos to my girl. I'm a big fan of Liv. She is the stereotypical pick me girl, I guess you could say, but at the same time, she's actually good at it. That is her role. That is her character. She does it very well. and she is a main eventer. She is a star. I think that is your future Royal Rumble Women's winner right there here in January. So
yeah, because she's been the runner-up a few times already, like too
exactly.
many. She's like the Roman Reigns of that match. Like Roman
Yeah.
Reigns has won Run Rumble and been the runner-up in like 15. So,
well, I think he's going to be your men's winner this year too. So, but I don't know.
oh God, we'll get into that direct soon. So overall, I liked the overbooked nonsense. Was it too much? What do you call too much? You know what I mean? So it was Dom. It's Dom's character. Of course, Dom needs, all the help he can get to beat somebody like John Cena or, whoever. But this is all just laying the foundation for when Dom is just going to ride this out. And honestly, I honestly think that it would mean more to have Dom be the guy who last beat John Cena than to have Gunther do it. Gunther can lose to John Cena on December 13th, and he can still be strong. He could still go forward. He could still win the world championship. Because if he lost to Jey Uso, he tapped out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Okay?
Yeah.
And he survived that, got the title back and everything, and they still booked him like a monster. He's still believable as like a monster foreign heel. Then losing to John Cena, the GOAT, as he's promoted, isn't going to hurt him.
No, and the thing is the way that they do Gunther when he does lose, it almost takes never endless ending strength and just perseverance. The literal Hulk up thing, to beat the man.
Right.
CM Punk did it, had to do it. We've seen several opponents that's had to go through the end of the world. It's not like a quick victory. So you can imagine John Cena. This would be a match. I mean, this would be a throwdown, beat 'em up type of match. And at the end of it, I'm pretty sure Gunther would shake his hand out of the respect. Gunther is like a heel, but he's that heel. He's just a pure wrestler that you need to respect. He's good on the mic. I'm a huge fan of Gunther.
That's why he never has to turn. That's the best part about him. When he loses straight up,
or not like him, and he can be the same guy.
Yeah, and he can, and you always have to give a superhuman effort to beat him. And then if you beat him and you legit beat him, he shakes your hand and he walks away. That's it. So
I mean, and again, I was trying to figure out. This shows you how much of the main event, I guess, he is. Jey Uso had to do the same thing. That whole Superman dig down deep, and he had to basically almost kill the man
with his own moves.
Right, with his own moves. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I like about Gunther matches is that you literally have to go through hell to beat this man. They have built him perfectly. I will give them credit that they have built this man the perfect character.
Absolutely, and I cannot disagree.
But as far as John Cena and Dom, that some I had seen like they didn't need all those people there. Dom is a cheater. He is Dirty Dom. He is the modern Eddie Guerrero more than he is his own father. Right. It was perfect. And then, Finn Balor and then JD McDonough come running down. They get the shit beat out of them. But again, this shows you the impression that John Cena leaves as he exits out is that he put over Raquel and made her look like just this amazing giant woman. And the same with Roxanne. That was a lovely pop rocks. I loved it.
Yes.
And the same with Liv Morgan. Put her over, put Damo, and had no issue at all. Bowed and said, "Hey, that's it, folks. I love you."
He's lived all his glory already. What is he doing if it's not hurting him putting over these kids? He's making more stars. And that's what he says he wants to do on his way out anyway. So he's living up to, what he says.
It kind of reminded me the way he said something similar in an interview about putting people over and going out the way he wants to go out. It kind of reminded me of like if you ever watched what they called Rocky Balboa, which was Rocky VI.
Right.
and Sylvester in the movie or Rocky said, I have to go out the way I have to go out. There's nothing else to prove. I don't have to be the good guy or the bad guy, or I'm
or
already
even
the
win.
guy. I don't have to win. I'm already the guy.
Right.
I'm here just for the love of this and to say goodbye. I mean, you can't be mad at that.
So, as I'm glancing off to the side here, they're just showing all the people arriving to the arena, and they're showing Liv Morgan carrying Dom's belt, and she's just had some kind of dialogue with Finn Balor. But we'll get into Raw and stuff on the next show. Let's stick to the to the script here. So then we go to the break match because, this is a tough spot to be in. Stephanie Vaquer, she defends the women's championship against a very non-credible challenger, an unbelievable one in Nikki Bella. You know what? I just want to know, was Nikki Bella just waiting in the entrance tunnel while John Cena's like walking right past her?
I have heard that they have made amends, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of jealousy there. I mean, the man said, I'll never get married. I'll never do this and that. Okay.
Just want to marry her. And then now learning about what's happened to her current husband, he had reasons. So
as hot, ladies, I know there's some out there watching, but let's face the truth. There are some toxic women out there just as much as there's a lot of toxic men. And I think we can all agree that the crazy one that is Nikki Bella has proved herself to be that crazy and that toxic. And John Cena, I think, avoided a sniper bullet.
Yep. Smartest man in the room. He read that from a mile away and he was like, nope, thank you. I'm out of here. And the first girl he saw, he married.
Joke, and I was like, nope.
So this was the death spot match. The only thing that really got over here was Stephanie Vaquer's move, the Devil's Kiss, which I'm hoping that that's not what she's becoming, because she is so much more than that. She is, she's an incredible wrestler, but she doesn't control her booking. And I understand that you had, 10 females in one match and that you had to like pick and choose. But really, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez were right there.
And the way they stood, again, I know we're not trying to relapse and go backwards, but the way they stood out because of just that simple transition with John Cena was beautiful, immaculate.
That would have made Stephanie Vaquer look like $1 million, that the girl stood in the ring after Cena walks away from getting beat by Dom because they're waiting for her now because they're the next match. Yeah. And she beats her after what she just did to John Cena instead of what we got, which was just underwhelming nonsense. That it was just like, all right, it's time to use the bathroom, freshen up this beer, whatever it is that you do.
This probably ain't saying much, and this ain't saying much. This was definitely Nikki's best match out of her current return. I will say that, but that's not a lot being said because, Stephanie definitely carried this match. And it was Nikki had some good spots, decent spots, but it was definitely Stephanie carrying the match and making it look good. I don't know. I don't hate Nikki, but it's a give or take type thing. Successful defense for Stephanie.
Yeah. So then after that, we get 100 random videos just to kill time because this was a 4-match show in an arena that was full with 45,000 people. Which, boy, did they see you all coming! And so we get the men's Survivor Series match. Starts off with CM Punk and Braun Breaker. And again, half an hour worth of entrances, 5 minutes. That's all it was from the time Roman Reigns got into the match till the bell rang. Jey Uso all of a sudden was auditioning for season 3 of P-Valley while sitting on top of the cage, stripper dancing. I don't know what that was about. Like it's War Games, so we're just instead of punishing these guys and hitting them with all these weapons that we bought in the ring. We're just going to all randomly yeet.
Dance.
Okay. That makes sense. And I mean, the heels won, but I thought it was going to be a little more action, and then we would get, the finish. A masked man who, if you wear glasses like us or are blind as a bat and can't see anything, everybody knew exactly who this masked man was. You can't deny that rear end. So,
and I'm comfortable with my sexuality, but I know the shape of Austin Theory from front and behind. Unfortunately, I guess you could say, because I watch wrestling.
right.
Again, I'm very comfortable with myself, but that was
Me too.
Austin Theory.
Yes.
Let's just say he brought his cake with him. That's all.
Yes. It was him and that monkey climbing over that cage to, kick CM Punk in the face and give him a curb stomp. So it seems that after.
And you know what? This is how you definitely know it's not Seth Rollins, because his curb stomp was better than Seth Rollins.
No, you know what? Austin Theory hasn't been given I don't know what it is, because in terms of in-ring, he might be the best in-ring in terms of selling and doing holds and setting them up properly and all that. You've never seen, at least I don't think, an Austin Theory match stop because of an injury or anything.
No.
So
I hope this is his opportunity to actually.
Yeah, this is his last opportunity, dude. If this ain't it here, we'll be seeing him over on TBS by this time next year.
Either that or TNA.
And not even, because they also work with WWE. So they'll be like,
right.
Maybe when we're not under their control, we'll call you. So it looks like we're going to get Cody versus Roman Part 3. God, why? No one asked for this. I don't want this. I don't know about you. WrestleMania 39 was okay. It had the wrong finish. WrestleMania 40 was perfect. It was the perfect payoff to that whole thing. It was like Avengers Endgame. So why do we this is like twice in a lifetime again? Like what's happening?
They're just, I guess that is the new what would you call it? Like Hogan and Savage, maybe, or
it could be the new Brock and Roman, apparently, because
you want some of these cats? Trying to get, I got them for sale.
I'm allergic, like deathly allergic.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd offer.
That's a shoot, by the way. Yes. So again, this was just a very lackluster Survivor Series. I like the fact that Braun Breaker is going to get his shot now to go after CM Punk and the World Heavyweight Championship. But beyond that, the only thing that changed on the babyfaces side is that they switched out Sami Zayn for Cody Rhodes. Everyone else that was on the team this year was on the same team last year. And it's just the same names, the same repetitive names. So with that, I say Survivor Series was boring. It was like board games, they should have called that. I know it's corny to say that, but that's really what it was. And in some very, very silent counter booking, counter programming that nobody really saw coming, we've seen WWE kind of bully around AEW. I'm not on the AEW bandwagon. I don't care one way or another. Okay. Like what you like. Don't be a jerk. Who cares? You can like everything. Okay. I'm not on the AEW bandwagon. I criticize AEW just like I would criticize WWE. But does WWE mess with AEW? Do they do things on purpose? Like booking Goldberg's retirement match on the same day as their biggest pay-per-view of the year? They do. They booked the first WrestlePalooza ESPN extravaganza on the same night as their pay-per-view, which I believe was All Out in Toronto. So they do things to mess with AEW. So Tony Khan, in some slick hush-hush, nobody, if you know.
What? Is that corn? Are you promoting corn on my?
My hands are right here. I can't do anything.
So I'm done. Whoever that was.
So, whoa, there is. Okay, so Tony Khan normally does the Blood and Guts, which is his version of War Games, normally like in the summer. For whatever reason, this year he does it 2 weeks before Survivor Series, right? And say what you want about the match, which was ridiculous on both sides, with all the blood, especially for women to be bleeding the way they were bleeding in the matches. Darby Allin was thrown through a table that was on fire. It was ridiculousness from beginning to end. Men are throwing each other in shards of glass and stuff like that. But with that, they told people can say, well, they went too far. But they also kind of showed you how lackluster the WWE product is right now. Because if you were looking for action and violence like you were looking for in War Games, you got it a lot in this match. I'm talking about Blood and Guts, as opposed to the War Games match where they just played it safe and it was like, we just want certain things because we don't want anybody to get injured because we're heading into WrestleMania season, I guess.
Well, that's the biggest issue that you have when your biggest stars are all in their 40s.
It's true.
And, you know, even now, not Braun, but still, he's a main event star now. You know, not the other Braun, the big Braun with the big splash. He's not, but I mean, he got injured last year at War Games. We didn't see him for 6 months. I mean, I get playing it safe, but also if you're gonna do it this way, I don't know, maybe just to go back to the traditional 5-on-5, you know, or something.
Right.
I'm you know, because or at least give one spot for fuck's sake. You know, wrestlers still know how to blade. Do something.
Or if you're gonna
blade a little bit, that's about it.
Or if you're gonna do War Games, right, and you don't want your top stars not getting injured, don't put the top stars in them.
That's what happens when you have your top stars or your main event, and you put your main event for War Games. And I understand wanting to play it safe, but you could have taken the Wyatts versus the MFTs and had a spectacular War Games.
Yes, and the botches would have been hilarious just from the MFTs alone. So, I mean, it is what it is. It just, like I said, it just shows you that whether you like AEW, and a lot of people don't, or you do, and you're saying, hey, I'm a sicko, I'm into that or whatever, that they gave you a bang for your buck, as opposed to this, which Lord knows what 45,000 people were paying for each ticket to get in there in San Diego. So, but hey, so while we're quickly on the topic of AEW, they had their pay-per-view the Saturday prior to Survivor Series, Full Gear. The top three things that I'll take away from Full Gear: Mercedes Moné loses again, as we predicted on the show, because she has all these other smaller titles that she has to lose first before she can even think about. So she's going to give up all 13 just to get that one AEW championship, that final stone like Thanos. So, oh God, I just gave her a Booker an idea. Mercedes Thanos.
I was about to say, instead of losing them, is she going to trade them all for that title shot? Or
that would make more sense.
I think they used to do. Now I know a lot of people criticize the Hogan TNA days, but I think he would get them to turn in the not it wasn't the cruiserweight. What was it?
The X Division Championship.
X-Division
for the world title. Yep.
Which was that was one good thing I did like about the Hogan era, in that I thought that was a pretty cool move. But I'm wondering if that'll be like that for Monet, or will she just gradually lose them all? And then it's just so much there that you would think that they'd have to have some type of angle of splitting them up or of some. I just don't know at this point. It just seems overwhelming.
Well, I mean, at this point, like I said, she's a heel. She's cocky. She's this. She's that. So I think to get her to the baby face, because um, they're going to have to make a good heel champion. And it shouldn't be Mercedes being the good heel champion. It should be Mercedes beating the good heel champion to become the world champion as a babyface. But that's just my opinion. The other takeaway that I had from Full Gear was John Moxley taps out again to Kyle O'Reilly, who nothing against Kyle O'Reilly. He's been a great wrestler for a very long time, but he has had the jobber to the stars job in AEW forever. I remember when he came to the ring to face Moxley in their first match randomly on Dynamite. AEW still posts up these wrestlers' win-loss records, like anybody even pays attention to that. And it said O'Reilly had like 52 wins and 51 losses. So there's his career trajectory in AEW right there, right? And now the guy who's been the world champion, who's basically been the biggest star in your company's history in terms of, not no disrespect to Chris Jericho or anything, but in terms of a guy who you put the house on him, especially every time that you've had an issue there with Punk and Brawl Out and all these other things.
Still, and you haven't far, by the way,
right? And you have him tap out to this gentleman who, again, was like a 50-50 guy, but every time he got in the ring with a star, we knew he'd lose. So, and the follow-up to that was that Moxley beats him up. I don't know if he injured him for real during the beat-up spot or during the match he got injured for real because it knocked Mr. O'Reilly out of the Continental Classic. But he did, and then they're playing it off where, Moxley's delusional, and I guess slowly but surely they're going to kick him out of his own group, the Death Riders. Right. So, and then lastly, Samoa Joe randomly wins the World Championship. They said they were going to put this match in a cage just days after having 2 cage matches because they did Blood and Guts for free on Wednesday night, and then they did a pay-per-view Saturday. So they said that they were putting this match in a cage because they wanted to keep Samoa Joe's faction, the Ops, out of it, but they all came in anyway. Right. And then Hook came back into the Ops, and he hits Adam Page in the face with the belt, and Samoa Joe pins him with his finisher, the Muscle Buster, and wins the AEW Championship randomly. I don't know why. Swerve Strickland then comes back, and they're making it seem like maybe, I don't know, it's a triple threat. But AEW shows are all over the place, and they're very long. And then their follow-up doesn't make a whole lot of sense because then after that, on their show this past Wednesday, just going on those 3 topics that I've mentioned, Mercedes Moné was nowhere to be seen. The girl that beat her, Chris Statlander, was just like, I'm looking to the future, and whoever's there. What was the other thing? Samoa Joe came out and, celebrated his victory. Hook came out and said, these people are stupid. They don't recognize a second-generation star, and that automatic right away gets cut off. Doesn't give a reason why he turned heel on Adam Page or why he did what he did. And Adam Page and Swerve Strickland come out with chains, and they run off Samoa Joe and his guys. Cool. And they started the Continental Classic this week, which I will just go through real quick. They have the Gold League and they have the Blue League. In the Gold League, it is Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Pac, Darby Allin, Kazuchika Okada, and Speedball Mike Bailey. And on the Blue League, it is Claudio Castagnoli, the aforementioned John Moxley, who we'll get into right now, and Asaka Konosuke Takeshita, Mascara Dorada, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. So after tapping out on pay-per-view, John Moxley comes back and he beats Mascara Dorada in this Continental Classic, which has honestly already been booked better than the Last Time Is Now tournament somehow. Not that that's hard to beat because and Claudio Castagnoli beat Orange Cassidy, and now they're stablemates in the Death Riders, and they're going to face each other this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. And I don't know if that's the part where they kick Moxie out the group for being a loser or whatever it is. But the Continental Classic. So I just want your thoughts on this, Huck, because you're sitting there like you feel like you're listening to your principal try to sell you on like, why is a good idea not to smoke pot before school? So, so I want you to listen to this, okay? So the Continental Classic is a yearly thing now, and the winner is the Continental Champion. So the original winner of the championship was Eddie Kingston. He won the tournament originally. He lost that championship to Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada goes into the tournament last year. He defends. He wins the whole tournament, so he stays champion. Okay? Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega have a unification match for Kenny Omega's international title and Kazuchika Okada's Continental Classic title. You keeping up so far? Because this is going to get confusing. Okay. No. Kazuchika Okada wins the match, unifies the championships, and then it's now called the unified title. Okay? So these two belts became one. So on Wednesday, in the opening match, it was Kazuchika Okada against Kyle Fletcher in the first round of this thing. So all of a sudden, the Continental title comes back out of nowhere. And the undisputed one, or whatever it was, the unified one, is nowhere to be seen. And then the title that he beat Kenny Omega for, he being Okada, he walks out wearing it on his waist. So I was like, wait a sec. So didn't they unify these championships? Why are they all separate now? So now I just did a little digging. And when you look at Kazuchika Okada's profile on AEW.com, he has 3 championships connected to him. So he is the unified champion, the continental champion, and the international champion. But only the continental title is on the line in this tournament. And if he loses it, he doesn't ununify the title somehow. Yeah. So cool. So look, I'm just going to stick to what I know about this. It looks clearly like they're going to have Okada in the finals of this thing at the next pay-per-view World's End. It's going to be Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. That's where they've been trying to get to for months and months and months and months. So they're just using this 2-sided bracket tournament to get them there. For both of these guys, by the way, just like everybody in AEW, is going to come out with like 3 belts already on them to fight for another belt in this in this match. Your face of pure confusion is what's making this whole thing hilarious.
You got me wanting to. I need to start watching this product.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it a point to start watching because going over social media isn't good enough. I need to see this shit for myself. I'm terribly confused.
You know what? If anything, we'll just watch for the Continental tournament to see how it plays out. Everything else.
All right.
Go ahead.
These 2 belts were unified. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's one title, but then those 2 belts became ununified and they're separate, but yet the unified one still exists.
Yes. So, and if Okada loses, I guess, the Continental title, I guess he somehow loses the unified one too. But the unified one, I guess, gets confiscated because since you have to beat him for both belts to call yourself the unified what is happening? All right. I feel like those gifs about like Breaking Bad with all the numbers and letters going around the place. Like this is crazy
I
all over
kind
the
of feel
place.
like you ever watch The Office? You remember when
Yeah.
Jim would break character and he would intentionally look at the camera? That's the way I feel
Yeah.
right now. Like straight fucking.
What are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
what is
that's a lot.
happening?
And I've
So
been
yeah, that
saying for the longest time, and I have nothing to get. Like I have watched just matches, but it's mostly been on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Uh, I need to start watching AEW as a full on product weekly, just to try to keep up. But I'm afraid that I might not be able to because that I believe you. Like that seems like something very AEW, and that's why I stopped watching the first time because I just it's nothing against the product of the matches, good matches, but to me, if you're not in a high school, college, or professional environment, I won a Olympic gold medal with a broken neck type wrestling, then I am looking for a little bit of substance in that and entertaining, and that's what got me into wrestling. And when you say wrestling, is it really wrestling? So that just hurts my brain a little bit as a wrestling fan of 40 years to try
no,
to
then and
understand
then
that.
one last thing for you to take in here, right? So now he's separating these belts to make them from 2 into 3 into whatever. And he just gave another championship to Ricochet, which you were making fun of Ricochet, and I was making fun of the fact that they are coming out with another mid-card title. And look, they got married. And it's like, but despite of whatever we may think about Ricochet, he won another championship. And it's like, there's so many belts. Look, just like that. It's like his belt order being like he's ordering more. Oh, and then the last thing that I'll say about AEW, they're having a tournament for women's tag belts. And now the semifinal match will be a death match between Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I hope I said her name right. Against
I did hear that.
Against Megan Bain and Marina Shafir. So it's going to be a death match, which means that they're going to do all these crazy things to each other because they want blood and gore or whatever. And then at the end, they don't even win the championships. They just go to the finals. Gotta love it.
Again, this was a nothing, and I don't want anyone out there to see this and think I hate AEW. I do not. But it's hard. It was hard for me to watch and not like, how do I explain it? The booking and storyline reminded me of late crashing down WCW.
Yes, in some instances they do. And you're
And
right
that's when
about
I
that.
started watching the WWF back in the day. I didn't care if Hogan was still in WCW or Flair or Sting or whoever. I was like, this sucks. I'm watching Stone Cold, and that's the same way I feel about AEW slightly there, is that, dude, it's overwhelming.
Right. So basically what we're dealing with here, to sum this all up, because I think it's time for us to call it a night, because right as we're speaking right now, Jey Uso and LA Knight are in the ring fighting each other in the semifinals of the Last Times Now tournament to find out who faces Gunther, who will clearly beat Solo Sikoa later on. But so final thought here. Right. So final thoughts here. AEW is very overwhelming because they are just trying to throw 100 things at you at once. But then WWE is very underwhelming because all I see is the same guys fighting each other over and over and over and over again. And I told you last week, and how many different iterations are you going to get the same matches? I said this last week. How many times are you going to have the same guys coming out doing the same match? The star power, yeah, it's there, but it's fading a lot, okay? Because guess what? After a while, people don't care who the big stars are if they keep facing each other, okay? So you need to start thinking about doing something new here. And I hope the start of that is Braun Breaker winning the world championship from CM Punk at WrestleMania.
I think that'd be a good move, and I think they should do that. I can't disagree on that. I do see Cody and Roman happening in the third time, but and that's probably going to be Roman's next run. I don't know if it'll last 4 years, but that's going to be. It was one of the most historical runs we had seen since, the longest runs since prior CM Punk, and then the 1984 to I think 88 or 89 run of Hogan's way back when. I mean, and there was some good matches, and there was some kind of lackluster ones towards the end. They had a great ending with Cody and Roman, and I guess the story continues in some way, and that's the way WWE does. Is they try to run with long-term booking, storytelling, and I get it. I love, again, AEW has no storytelling. WWE has great storytelling, and then they kind of keep telling the same story. And it's just, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm sure you did. It looks like we're going to end up getting Brock and Roman down the road again as well.
Yep. Because even when going back and replaying Survivor Series during like the entrances and stuff, like before the entrances, that they were just leading up like with a little video package. They're like, this is the first time in 3 years that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have been in the same ring. And I was like, oh no. I was like, there we go. They didn't say the last time where they weren't supposed to face each other again. Nope. They're just making it seem like, well, it's been a lot. We're telling you it's been a while for a reason, because you missed it. Didn't you? Didn't you? Say you did. So
it's going to happen again. One of the best things I can say that might possibly come out of this, if you don't get the hell off my damn chair, cat, sorry, is that there is going to be a Cody heel turn that might add some type of flair to something. So
I hope so.
I am tired of seeing Cody be the ultimate good guy. I would like to see him be a butthole again. So, yeah.
Listen, and without being a spoiler here, I think we're gonna go off in a sec here, and you need to rewind what just happened right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Live on Raw is what I'm saying. So, with that, I think that we covered Survivor Series. We've caught up somehow, somewhat, or some way. I'm not sure on AEW. Because I don't really know. There might be like 15 other championships hidden somewhere. Now we'll see what happens going forward. This is supposed to be like the start to the road to WrestleMania.
We shall see. I am not looking forward to the Royal Rumble for the women. And not because I'm some type of pig. I'm saying that, these girls want to dress up the way to be comfortable, and now they have to do the whole. And I wouldn't want to do it if I was a woman. I'd say that. It just seems like TKO has been a complete downfall, kind of like this. And just like that, all your aura disappears. For the Mancho Huck, for the XwE Podcast, that's my man right over there.
The Borgman Rich Diaz.
We will see y'all Saturday and be back on track. Until then, enjoy wrestling. We know ball. And follow us at all these links I'm about to pull up right now.